Hello, welcome to the first Jank tanks of the new season. Today we're trying out a deck that was kind of submitted by someone in the last week, I believe. I faced him and his deck was pretty sweet. We got a brand new card from the new set, Lively Dirge. So hopefully we can use this in the combination of Insidious Roots and also the Narcomoebas, Prize Amalgams, Ghouls. So we should be able to find our pieces like that. Creeping Chill. So we're playing Dredge today for Pioneer. This deck is going to be pretty sweet, I hope. And hopefully we do a solid, get a solid record here. This, like I said, if you guys like my kind of content, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification to be alerted for future videos. What decks do you want to see this season? What new cards do you want to see? I want to know all that down in the comment section. Let's get into the deck list and see the deck in action. Alright, so the deck I'm trying out today, I was able to pick up 2 copies of Lively Dredge today when Moto went live today. So that was pretty good. So I'm hoping that this deck does quite well. Like I said, I think 2 copies is where we want to be. It can be quite clunky, but it can get back a Scounger and a Narcomoeba, which triggers all our amalgams. It also could pitch 8 prize amalgam into the yard. So like it is very flexible for this deck. Also, it triggers roots, which is really nice as well. We are Sultai, so keep that in mind. We do have 4 confluences, and we have a decent amount of dual lands in the deck. So sideboard, the 2 Damping Spheres for Lotus Field, 2 Knights for Amalia, 2 Negates, kind of a decent counterspell overall. It gets multiple matchups. 2 Whale of the Forgotten. I'm not sure what matchup this is for. Keep in mind, this is basically his exact list. Only thing I did, I believe, was I cut a Scounger and I cut one other card out of the main board. It might have been, I don't think it was Haunted Dead. But, that's basically all I did. I cut 2 cards out of the main for 2 Lively Dirge. That was it. 2 Wither Balloon commands. It's really good against the cards that hate on us, like on Hearse, stuff like that. Also fills up our yard. 3 Ashioks for Graveyard Heat. Another Dispute, or a Dispute for the control matchup. Tempo. And then 1 Unmoored Ego to get rid of a combo piece. So that should help us against something like Lotus Field, along in combination with Negates. So that's what we're trying out today. Sultai, Dredge, and Pioneer. Let's see if this deck can compete. Let's get into it. Tomb, Stitcher Supplier, Segyo. We will get you with a Creeping Chill. Plus a Forge and Passes. Shove. A second Stitcher Supplier. Beseiju, say go. Botanical Sanctum. Sylvan Scrying. Is this like Teamer? Lotus Field? Salvage. Play the Salvage. I have to, so I guess I take Ghoul. Get back a Narcomoeba. Shove. Say go. There's a Lotus Field. Stacks. Beseiju. Not what I'm looking for. Play the new Beseiju. Play a Ghoul. Shove in there. Say go. I imagine that my opponent is watching this video probably right now. Plays a stage and passes. Another non-blue source. Go to combat. And shove. He has to deal with a 3x. Dude, either the gore or the prized. So he rightfully chooses that one. Because he would have chose the ghoul, I would have just sacked it. And drew a card. So I guess we just still sack it, I guess. Ugh, no land. So he copies, plays an Aurora, drinks. Can he combo off from here? Looks like a pour. We came so close. We were 1 turn away. We just did not find that 3rd land, really. The blue source really what got us. We would have been a little bit faster if he did. I wonder what Graveyard Heat he brings in. There's a Grazer. That is not a deal breaker. And About Recovery. So far, 2 lists I've seen do not play any Graveyard Hate. So we'll play Roots and attempt to shove in for 2. You must have like some sort of answer. Green Mana I don't think saves you, does it? Stage you can't get any of these. Oh, you fight and now he gets to eat one of these. Okay. We mill a Creeping Chill. Sweet for the win. So in this matchup, we have Negate, Damping Spheres, possibly Dispute. What are we going down? Probably the Ghoul? No, I don't think we can go down the Ghoul. We can go down to Dread. I'm not going down our namesake. New card. Scrounger. Maybe not the Dispute. And down the Founding? I don't like that. Gorge. Grazer. Let's go ahead and untap Pool. Gaze. I don't need lands. We'll put that on top. Graveyard. Say go. So that way we guarantee draw the new card. See how that actually pans out. Impulse. And passes. Sewers. Graveyard. Play Gaze. Graveyard. 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 Get it back. Trigger double prize amalgam. Pass the turn. Okay, 3 blue. Cycles the Vizier and taps. Catch a Triumph. Passes. Negates. So that means I just go to combat. Shove. Leave up negate / grizzly salvage. Take 6. Pass the turn. Archdruid's Charm. Gets a stage. So he copies. Cycles the Vizier. Tap land. Salvage. Take a Watery Grave. Watery Grave untapped. Stitcher Supplier. Another Narcomoeba. Shove in there for potentially 6. Pass the turn. Leave up negate. Go for it. Counter. Good. Another Lotus Field. Stacks those 2. He has 3 Lotus Fields now. Sweet. Roots. Alright, so he blocks here. And that's 6. Okay, so we're going to use the Lively Dirge, I think, to win this game. And Creeping Chill? Yeah, got it. 1-0. Let's get to the next. Sewers. So weird. We had like 4 hands in a row with no lands in it. Graveyard that. Say go. Plays a Champion of the Perished. Breeding Pool. Say go. Reaver. Grows the Dork by 2. Hits me for 3. That's a bad top deck. I'll go one more draw step. I don't think we're gonna get out of this. He's gonna go really wide before we even have a shot. Plays a Crypt Breaker. Shoves for 6. Okay, that is not gonna win the game. So I think we potentially bring in these because they are semi-interaction. Down the Foundry, Scourger, Scrounger. The Dead's probably not bad. Maybe a Ghoul. Not like that. I just can't keep these hands with so many chills. Okay, we keep this. Play Sewers. Beseju Yard. Say go. We need another black or blue source. Swamp. Crypt Breaker. Passes. Supplier. Say go. Another Swamp. Reaver. That means he gets to draw a card. Oh wait, I can't even do that. Alright, so I Tome Scour myself. That was a whiff. Say go. He draws a card. Castle Lockwayne. Pushes. We get back a Narcomoeba. We don't have any prize amalgams and a Tainted Adversary. Shoves in there. We block. Arbitrade. Roots. So I think I Tome Scour. Creeping Chill. Narcomoeba. Pass the turn. Maybe it's better I should have just Roots this turn. Then next turn I would be able to mill 5. Get back a Narcomoeba. Get a little creature. Hits me. Take it. I can't really kill anything. So I think I want to do these 2 modes. Trying to find a land here. I think I take the Sewers. I can't do anything else this turn. And I think I want another black or blue source. And I want to be able to surveil. Definitely don't want to draw a Creeping Chill here. Drain you. Say go. Death Baron. Can you give him Menace? I will Chomp. Still no prize amalgams. Kills my Dork. Shoves in there. We take it. We're not exactly dead yet, but close. Creeping Chill, number 3. Attempt to Gaze. Graveyard. Graveyard. Graveyard? But there's no way I could actually stay alive here, so scoop it up. 1-1. Let's get into the next. Sewers. It's not a land. Bennett. That is a land. Say go. Drown Catacomb and passes. Play the Tomb untapped. Roots. Say go. Island. Passes. Watery Grave, untapped. Stitcher Supplier, mill. Say go. Consider. Get rid of a swamp. Swamp. Salvage. You have a counter. Take a breeding pool. So we get 3 root triggers. Got game 1. That is a busted start. Against control, we bring in negates and disputes. What do we go down? Founding and a ghoul. I don't like that. Island. Passes. Watery Grave. Untapped. Tome Scour. Get back a couple Narcomoebas. Considers. Pass the turn. Considers before playing a land. Temple Deceit. And passes. Watery Grave. Scrounger. Shove in there for 2, say go. It's another island. And passes. So on our upkeep, we'll cast a Gaze. Graveyard. Top. Watery Grave. Untapped. Go to combat. Pushes my Scrounger. Shove in there. Pass the turn. Drown Catacombs. Narset. So he's playing Dimir Control with a wheel. Digs. Flashback a Gaze. Graveyard. Top. Play Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Prize Amalgam. Go to combat. 1 at Narset, 1 face. Say go. So if he uses Narset, he loses it. Swamp. Uses Narset for a dig and passes. Go to combat. Shove in there for 5. Swift ends my Amalgam. Salvage. Perfect. Take back Takenuma. Say yes. Pass the turn. So we bring back Haunted Dead. Get rid of the ghoul and the amoeba. And that gets back everything. Languishes. But you need a Spell Pierce. So the amalgams come back. Unless, yeah, got it. 2 and 1. Let's get to the wrap up. So what are we going to speak about this deck? Lively Dredge was perfect in the deck. Both times it came up, it was relevant. Both times we were to get a Creeping Chill and win the game. Pretty awesome that it's literally just like kind of like Creeping Chill for 3 mana, deal 3, gain 3, which also could sprock Ghoul, which then sprocs Amalgam. So like it kind of does a little snowball. In game 1 of that match, you clearly seen the power of what Roots provides to the deck. With Narcomoebas, we get tons of X1s, plants, counters. So it's really strong. Overall, the deck does do a decent job of setting things up. My only issue I had with the deck was the mana, right? It was decently off in that we just did not find the blue source, like in match 1. And we just kind of struggled a little bit. But besides mana issues, and also mulliganing so far down because we just didn't have the proper lands, was another thing, of course, that came up in one game where I had a mold at 2, which cost me the game. So, but other than that, like I said, I think it was pretty good overall. Like, how do you address that? I don't necessarily know if we need 2 copies of Beseishu. In general, I kind of think maybe one of those could be in the side for a Whale of the Forgotten, and then just up maybe a breeding pool. Right, so we have another blue source in the deck. That should make the deck a little bit better. I wasn't really sure what matchup Whale of Forgotten is for. We don't really have a sweeper in the deck for aggro. So game 2 or match 2 where we face zombies, kind of got overran there. But then again, like I said, we just did not have a very good plan there, especially since we had a mole so far. But I think every other number looks perfect. I like the one of Scourger. He had 2 Scourgers, 2 Haunted Deads. And I cut both of them for the Lively Dirge because they can get that card, right? Once you get them in the graveyard, both of them can easily come back from the graveyard and start triggering everything. So it really kind of does two things in the deck. And plus, you could always, bring back a Narcomoeba and a Scrounger, or 2 Narcomoebas with a Dirge, which is pretty potent as well. So I do like the flexibility that provides those 2 slots. And really, it kind of does, function as copies 2 of Scourger and 2 of Dead, but also an additional copy on top of that, right? So there's technically 3 Scourgers, potentially, and 3 Deads, which makes the deck a little bit more consistent. So I like this build. So if you're the original maker of this deck, DNA Delta, I faced him for a video recently. Maybe it was last week. And he had this deck. I faced him. It was awesome. I asked him to send me the lists, and yeah, he did. So I figured this was a great deck to showcase week 1, just because the card we're featuring works so good in the deck. And it's not just like, it's like sort of trying out a card. I think this card is perfect for the show, right? I don't necessarily think we want 3, because it can be clunky at 3 mana. Or even like 5 mana, right? Or 4 mana, depending on what mode you want to do to get 2 things back. Or all 3 at 5. So we definitely don't have the lands. But if we do end up going off with roots, we can pay the 5. So like it's very flexible, and I like the card. So if you have any suggestions at all for Sultai Dredge, let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.